Hello, students. You are looking at a very short story about a middle school science teacher who goes on a mountain bike ride and comes across a creature in the woods. We're going to be using this same document for the assignment that comes up right after this lesson. So this lesson is an how-to about communicating within a Google file. This is most common on a Google Doc. So this would be if you and a classmate or a group of classmates were all trying to make changes to one particular Google Doc. There's ways for you to make those changes as an editor. There's ways to make suggestions. We can leave comments. We can reply to comments. And then we can store those comments somewhere else. So you may or may not have any experience with this. I'm going to show you I'm going to show you first of all how to do comments. So comments can be found either up here in the menu section, or if I were to highlight a particular piece of text, by default, the little comment button comes up over here. You do have to highlight text. If I were just to press the comment button, the comment is going to show up wherever it is that your cursor is. So you can do that. You can put the cursor right in front of a word, but sometimes you want to make changes or comment on a large chunk of stuff. So I might say, maybe I want this to be a crisp autumn morning. So maybe I'm either going to make a suggestion to someone else, or I'm going to make a comment to someone else. And the cool thing is, you press that comment button, the comments just show up on the side. They look like a sticky note. And so you can leave yourself comments. I do this a lot as a teacher when I'm reading through something and I'm trying to decide if I want to make a particular change. It's like just putting a little sticky note. It also reminds me to go back and maybe fix something that needs to be fixed. Like, oh, that doesn't sound right. So currently I'm the owner of this document, and I have just made a comment to myself. If you are given permission to comment, you also have that option. You also have that option if you're given permission to edit, but you don't have to edit on someone else's. I might say, hey, can you look this over and make suggestions as a comment? So here we have the comments. You can also highlight a certain section. You can also use this button up here. Do they have a name? Okay. Now, as the author, you notice if I mouse over this, or not even the author, there's a check mark. It says mark as resolved and hide discussion. So I might say, okay, cool. I see that sticky note, but I don't really need that information anymore. If I press this button, I want you to watch how this goes up to this little drawer right here. Do it. Whoop. So you can resolve your comments, but all those sticky notes, they don't go in the garbage can. They go into this little comment drawer. Isn't that cool? And so you can get to them later if you want to. Now, I'm going to bring up this again. And in addition to being able to resolve a comment, you can also reply to a comment. If I was another student and I wanted to come on here, I could also reply to someone else's comment. And if I really wanted to get that person's attention, I might say, if you use the @ button, it will direct this person to the discussion and it will send them an email. So they get an email notification that directs them back to this particular comment. I do not want you to do that in the assignment that you have coming up. I'm going to not do this because I don't want Miss Smith to get an email about that. But I just want to show you what it looks like if you reply to a comment. Okay. You can also, after you've made a comment, be like, oh no, I meant something else. Or I want to delete that comment. You can also see emoji reaction details. So this is kind of fun too. One of the things you can do is add emojis. It's kind of a way to like a particular part of someone's document. You can't like a comment, but you can like someone in the document. So that is how we comment and how we reply to comments. Again, they are like sticky notes. You will see Oftentimes, your teachers might make comments if you had a Google Doc that you turned into Google Classroom, as long as we have access to comment. So might say, wait, how is it again that I can give someone access to comment? Well, as the author, when I go to share this with people, I might make it that anybody from Battleground Public Schools, instead of saying viewer, I give them the chance to be a commenter. And so if they are a commenter, the only thing they can do to that paper is they can comment on it. If I made it so that they were only a viewer, they don't even get the option to add the comments. There's what you need to know about the commenting and replying to comments. Just as a general note, we're in an academic setting. We are always respectful. We always want to be kind with our words. And if we're not sure, we probably shouldn't make the comment. Okay? Another thing I want to draw your attention to is how you can make suggestions to someone in a particular document without making those changes and maybe not making it be a comment. I'm going to change this from editing to suggesting. So let's say that this was Miss Smith's story, and I said, I feel like there's something that you should fix here. So let's just say I change this to suggesting. So as an editor, I'm going to come down and find something didn't seem aggressive. Intelligent eyes. Now here's where I get to the suggesting part. I'm putting that cursor right in the text, and I'm going to say soft fur and shy smile. When you make a suggestion to someone else, it shows up on your end in green brackets, and it shows up on their end, I believe, in pink brackets. And so when Ms. Smith saw my suggestion, she could decide, yeah, I actually really like that idea that you added in there, and she can accept the suggestion. She could say, no, thanks for your opinion, but no, thank you. She could also reply to that suggestion, like, why? Why do I need this? So what you're seeing here, so I haven't done either. I haven't accepted and I haven't rejected, but I'm kind of getting back. And obviously, I'm the one who's commenting on all of this. Okay. And so now you know that there are ways to communicate within a Google Doc. Sometimes you will see an email that said someone left a suggestion or someone left a comment on your Google Doc. And I keep saying Google Doc just because it's very rare for other people, especially in an online school, for other students or people to be commenting on other Google files of yours. It sometimes becomes more common when you're doing a Google slide presentation, and it might be a group project. One other thing before I forget, there's a third place that you can add a comment, and that is under the insert. You can see where the option is to add a comment. Most of the time, people just use this option up here because they want to highlight whatever it is that they want to comment about. So at this time, I encourage you to open up your own Google Doc from the past, maybe something you don't need anymore, and just play around a little bit just to see how that works. And then the assignment right after this is going to give you some instructions that have to do with this exact Google Doc.